What's up, everybody? Today is the first day of Anime Iwai. I will be having a panel today, so looking forward to seeing everyone and seeing what's going on. I can't wait to show you guys what I got to see for this entire weekend. It's gonna be a busy weekend because not only is it Anime Iwai, but we got like 2 fights rather, happening this weekend. We got the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, and then we got John Jones versus Stipe Miocic. Other than that, I mean, I got everything I need. I got everything packed up. I got the only thing I didn't do was get the ramen like I would normally do. So I'm just gonna bring Reese's peanut butter cups instead and just toss them out to people. And yeah, but just to reiterate on me being packed. Yeah, dudes. Anyway, see y'all there. Peace.
Building and stuff like that.
Sorry, brother.
Shout out DK, shout out Brandon. We got the table up.
We're not doing the ice climb, we're doing it upstairs. I'm not doing that.
To start your own business, your YouTube channel, your Twitch channel, whatever it is you want to start, Instagram. These are my top 10 secrets on how to promote yourself and what you represent. Now, whether you're someone like me who's consistently promoting for my channel, for Prodigy Games, for DK's Battle Lounge, for Rex Gaming, the list goes on and on because I promote for a lot of people, or at least I try and put on a show. Welcome in, come in. I got candy, brother. I got candy, okay. So, one of the biggest steps in promoting yourself is having authenticity. That's number one. It's being true to yourself, and it's being true to how you treat others. You can't fake anything in this life, and you especially can't fake yourself when you're trying to promote something. That is called false advertisement, and that just is not a good look on you or the brand that you represent. So at the end of the day, you want to really try and put your true, authentic self out there, especially when promoting. You might deter some people along the way, but you know what? The real ones come along, and once they see exactly. Shout out, Ed, appreciate you.
I got a question.
What's up?
If you're being too true to yourself, does that mean you're gonna bore your audience?
It happens. That does happen, yes. Unfortunately, I have bored my audiences from time to time, but at the
So
end
that
of the
means
day,
you gotta do like a little character development.
a little bit, but I mean, I have a thing on my list, and that gets us to our thing later where I talk about having self-awareness and, things on what to do and what not to do. Because you're right, you don't want to, be too outrageous. You got to have some sort of self-control, some setback, because at the end of the day, you might end up looking like a whole lolcow. You might end up being the next Daniel Larson, the next Fousey Tube, whatever. It's not a good look. So try. Authenticity is a difficult thing to grasp for some people because they think, oh yeah, let me just be an outright dickhead and treat people poorly, and use that as a humor mechanism in enticing people in, and it worked for some people. It works for Wes Watson, works for other people, but for me personally, I don't like to present myself like that. I don't like to present myself as overly aggressive. It's not a good look. Which brings me to my second point, is being welcoming and not gatekeeping. Now, when you're running a business, specifically at least, you definitely don't want to do that. And it's the same principle with your YouTube channel and Twitch channel. You want people to come in and watch you and interact and say what's good, you want people to come in and chat and say, hey, yo, you make my day, you make this happen. Bro, you'd be surprised. I get some wild chats. I was playing Soul Calibur about a couple of months ago and had some random Japanese guy be like, you were the first American I've ever seen. I'm like, I'm streaming, what? And it was just such a crazy little moment at that time.
You can actually connect a lot of people around the world if you start streaming. If you're streaming more often, you can connect a lot of people in the world.
You're not wrong. It's just a matter of my own personal time management. Because I'm already here. I'm already doing a whole documentary as it is. What's up, YouTube? And yeah, man, that's essentially what it boils down to. Is that you don't want to gatekeep. You want people to come in, say what's up. You want to bring a welcoming vibe.
It's a humble beginning.
Very humble beginning. Yes, exactly. Speaking of which, shout out Brandon, Red Gaming. So that brings me to number 3, like you were saying earlier, self-awareness, having the time to take the step back and realize, okay, maybe I really do need to take a break. Maybe I need to, not do this particular thing on camera or on stream. It's just little things, mental health breaks in general, tolerance. And just, if you become self-aware of your own actions, you become a much more likable person online, and you present that true, authentic self at the end of the day, like I was saying earlier. And funny, that actually brings me to number 4, is knowing when to take breaks and when to step back. Sometimes you get that mental fatigue, you push yourself. If you're someone like me who works a 9 to 5 and still does all the other shit all around, you're gonna get fatigued, and it's gonna happen. So, there are days where you're going to have to take a step back, whether it's 1 or 2 days. You're just kind of like, all right, let me relax a little bit, let me chill out. And then I'll come back to this. And it gives you time to just kind of sit back, write your notes. That's why I have this little notebook right here. I jot down all my ideas, whether it's for my YouTube channel, for future events, if anyone else really wants to, be a part of the event. Or, like I said, I'm already trying to do a whole South Florida rave documentary with some of the guys from Pub Dubs. So let's see how that works. If not, shout out Pub Dubs, shout out Renzo. But yes, and that brings me to number 5, is forming alliances and friendships. Now, if you're a guy like me, who has been doing YouTube for well over 5 years, you're gonna want to find some sort of way to make extra cash on the side and have someone sort of, shout out Brandon, shout out X Gaming.
I had a question.
What's up?
How do you differentiate between an alliance and a friendship, and where do you draw those lines?
So, when I say alliance, I mean it in the sense of like more than one person. A friendship, don't get me wrong. It's actually a very good question. But let me break it down to you. So with the Alliance, it's more like a group thing. So it's like, you know, you got Rex Gaming, Prodigy Games, Wildfire, myself, and all these other people who are coming together and they have a common goal. Whereas the friendships, it's, you know, you don't want to make everything a business thing. You really do not. Because when you just make everything exclusively business, you're gonna get side-eye a little bit, and it's gonna be like, where's the authenticity in that, you know? Which is why I try to be as friendly and what's the word? There's a word for it. Endearing, you know, try and endear people on and, you know, hear them out and, you know, maybe work little niches with them if they have an idea and you just don't like one particular part about the idea. Talk to them in a friendly way about it and be like, hey man, you know, it's a great idea. It's just if you work on this, you'll be able to do this. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's an event, a video, a store even, or like your own personal store. It all works out at the end of the day because I mean it's like an ongoing cycle of just everyone benefiting from each other. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you know, you don't want to just, if it works for everybody, at that point you might as well try and make friends out of that because it's like, you know, you're going to be seeing each other every day. You're going to be working on big things. You know, you're going to be doing huger and huger and bigger projects as the time goes on. So that's just something you have to remind yourself. You know, if you stay consistent with these individuals, the results will show for itself. Which brings me to my next thing. Be wary of fans, stands, and trolls. There's a lot of people who really don't, you know, like us, and that's okay. You know, at the end of the day, we still go do our thing. I post videos, people run their events, people still go to events, they pay money at the events, and then they just go on the internet and bitch and moan, and it's just like, well, what was the point of you being here? You didn't do that. But regardless of that, it still works out in the long run. It's just a matter of watching out, you know, who's there for what and why they're there to begin with. You know what I'm saying? You know, some people might be there to incite a little something. Some people might, you know, just be there because it's like, oh, this is cringe, this is something. Hey man, you still showed up. What does that say about you if it's cringe in your eyes?
Pay to hate.
Exactly. Pay to hate. What's the point? You know, it's kind of silly, but people do it, you know. You've probably seen it. You've probably seen it. I'm sure our friends over at Team Underground has seen it. It's crazy stuff, man. It's how it works. But anyway, and another thing is being careful of the stands. Is the people that, you know, they get a little too obsessed with you. The people who are like, oh, what's going on in your personal life? What's going on here? I'm like, hey. Relax a little bit. You didn't get to know me first, brother.
You guys got groupies over here.
Yeah, bro. First couple stalkers over here, man.
Hey, man, it happens.
Yeah.
I had to tell a couple people off. Some people have harassed my personal friends. I'm like, oh, that's it. You're out. I don't give a fuck if you stop watching my shit. You're not gonna harass my friends. Which also brings me to my next thing. Number 7 is don't take everything personally. This is something I have to work on sometimes, especially when you're reading hate comments. It's like, you know, you can be reading all the positive stuff, and then there's that one comment that gets to you, and you have to take a step back and realize, hold on, why am I stressing over this one guy's opinion while everyone else in the mother is showing love? Come on. And it's gonna happen. You're gonna get haters. I remember last year I got heckled at a panel like this at last year's Iwai. I wish I recorded it, but that shit was hysterical to me. But, you know, it's just a sign that I'm growing as a person and as a content creator and so forth and so on. Moving on to my next thing is, yes, Brandon.
Question about that here. How do you personally, like, what are your de-escalating yourself, like, practices? Because, like, personally, when it's something I put all my time into and it's something I care deeply about, and then somebody comes at me like that, it's hard. It's hard to not knee-jerk and just get up on somebody.
You're right, and I mean, as long as the person's not being completely belligerent and getting up in your face or any other person's faces, it's definitely going to be much more difficult in that situation. But when you put in so much in a passion project and someone, has something awful to say about it, the ways I go about it is I stop myself, I take a, and it's going to sound cliche, I know, I take a big deep breath, woosah, and then I have to ask the guy, what made you come here today? What allowed you to come in and think that this was okay? And they're gonna talk their shit no matter what. I just kind of say, you know what, I blocked you because you were doing this to my friends and I'm leaving it at that, or it's you annoyed me and I left it at that. It's just a matter of not stooping to the level, because some people will try and rile you up and try and bring you out of your character. We've seen this time and time again, and it's gonna happen, So something you gotta realize is that most people who go out their way to try and belittle others on what they do and what their passions are, that's a reflection of their character, not your character. If you're out here making money or making people smile or making people happy by any means that doesn't harm others, you're set. It's actually one of the 8 noble truths of Buddhism, but let me not get into that. Number 8 is know when to keep things parasocial. This is especially big for my content creators. If you're a business owner or an event runner, it's a little bit more difficult to do that because everyone wants to come up to you, hug you, dap you up, say hi, whatever. But with the parasocial people and keeping it at a certain level of friendliness, it brings me back to yes, DK.
What's parasocial?
Parasocial simply means is that people recognize you and they recognize your work and everything that you put out there, but you don't really know much about them. You got what I'm saying? So it's like a fan, if you will, or a groupie in that sort of sense, where it's like, oh, they can know everything about. Let's say you have a YouTube channel and your YouTube channel is about food reviews. They'll be like, hey man, I liked your YouTube channel. I liked when you went to that restaurant and made this joke with your friend at da 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 da. And I have like 500 videos on my YouTube channel. You think I'm gonna remember every little thing I said or did? Some people might bring it up. I'm like, oh shit, I did do that. That's hilarious. But yeah, man, it's just stuff to think about, especially if you're an aspiring content creator and you're trying to get, sponsors. That's especially going to happen once you start making it big. But as far as, being able to run events, it's a little more difficult, because if you run an event or run a business, people are going to want to speak to you in some way or another, whether that person is an actual believer in your work or if it's just some Karen trying to bitch you out. It's gonna happen, and it will happen. Number 9 is showing face when necessary. Now, this applies to everybody. So when you're running events and you're a content creator and you have like a nice little friendship going on where the event runner allows you to come and promote yourself, show face, socialize with people, say hi, dap people up, make sure you introduce people to who, so it's like, okay, let me not fool around, because if that's what the guy looks like, I'm definitely gonna kick that. And vice versa, it all works out. You just gotta show face. It gives people a chance to know what really goes on in the background, especially if you're, a friendly presenting person and you just want to, make sure everyone's good. Showing that face definitely helps in the long run, And I wear my own brands and logos, so it's kind of, not hard to run into me. It is what it is. Yes, Brandon.
How does someone who's trying to get into this deal with the normal social anxiety that comes with putting your face out there?
So with overcoming social anxiety, and I used to suffer from social anxiety too, is these little baby steps. You just gotta observe the room, see what's going on, see who's having a good time, see who's not having a good time. You clearly don't want to talk to the guy who's over there, grumpy face. No, it's all about assessing the situation and looking all around. And you'd be surprised. It's also about putting yourself in a comfortable position too. Like if you're comfortable being at a place like game night, try and do something with game night. If you're comfortable in a position at Prodigy Games, try and do something with Prodigy Games. It's about where you're comfortable at already, and then reflecting on that. So all that social anxiety that you had beforehand is slowly dwindling down. It's like, okay, you know the owner, you know who comes here, you know who works here, you know who's a regular, who's not a regular. Hey Jim, what's up? So when you do that, it gives people a chance to introduce themselves to you and everything else with that. And then lastly, number 10 is reflect on your accomplishments. Now, a lot of people will not do this, which is shocking. But sometimes you need to take a step back and realize, okay, I was able to do this for this period of time. I was able to do this for this period of time. I was able to do this for this period of time. These are all accomplishments. No one can take that away from you. If you were able to do it and you can talk about it because you were there and you have the photos to back it up, dude, you were set. Brandon, remember the time we used to do Smash Brothers at Glitch?
Yeah.
And Glitch kind of, messed us over? At the end of the day, even though that flopped, guess what? We were still at Glitch doing whatever. And that's written in the history books. There's a whole funny picture with you with that one kid in the background.
I ain't never been nowhere.
Don't fib. But no, let me get serious for a second. Definitely reflect on your accomplishments, because if you reflect on your accomplishments, it gives you that incentive, that drive to want to do more and add on to your list of accomplishments. Does that make sense? Right? I know, yes, Brandon.
How do you deal with momentum shifts? Like, let's say everything is going your way and you're getting everything you want, then you have that sudden failure after failure after failure.
Yeah, that definitely can be brutal, and I think we've all been there, whether it's running an event, running a business, doing a YouTube channel, doing a Twitch channel. That's gonna happen. I think the best way of going about it is taking a step back, assessing the situation. Why is it failing? Why is this not working? Who is at fault if there is a party at fault? Because it could be numerous things. Going back to what I said about Glitch, we were having fun for a little bit, and then out of nowhere, they freaked out about the whole, what was it? They wanted to take the money in the signups versus us.
They didn't want to micromanage us, but they wanted to do everything.
Yeah, exactly. So it's stuff like that. It definitely does hinder your progress, but you definitely have to remind yourself, hey, we were still able to do for what we were doing for however long it was. And then, I've been taught that at the end of the day, if you have not necessarily a resume, but if you explain yourself to the best of your ability, what you do and how you do it, someone's going to be more than willing to listen to you, and you can step back in out of that momentum shift of failure after failure. Yes, Jim.
Sometimes it's also, you can do everything right and still fail.
Yes. Captain Picard
situations-
said that.
Yes. Very good, thank you. But sometimes it's also just important to, realize that it could just be like product fatigue. So take a step, pivot to something different.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad we've been doing things a little bit differently at Wrecked Gaming. I mean, I'm so glad we kind of invested in the DJ this time around. It definitely made, everyone's life a little bit easier, not having to use your phone and drain the battery and the Bluetooth. And, everyone still had a fun time. Everyone complimented the DJ, and the DJ still hypes up that party to this very day. Randy still talks about this party to this very day. I'm like, yes, thank you, Randy. So glad I paid you for this.
Shout
This
out
is
Prodigy
why.
Games for hosting us.
Yes. Before we get into Randy, let me make a quick announcement. Not only shout out Prodigy Games, let's shout out DK's Battle Lounge. Woo! If it wasn't for DK, we wouldn't be here doing this panel, and we wouldn't be here at this event to begin with, and we wouldn't have the two crazy lock-in events that we did have. Shout out Ryan. I wish he was here right now to check this out, but regardless of that, I do want to extend my sincerest appreciation to DK, because he's not only just here with us, he's actually recording this as well for the YouTube documentary that I will be posting this on later.
What a guy.
Would that be the Prodigy Games that's down like in Lantana?
Yes, sir.
Good store.
Great store. If you have a chance, I don't know if you checked out their land room or their land center. He runs that portion of the store. He actually does.
It's been a few months that I've poked my head in. I was there like shortly after you had reopened that other half of the building.
Right.
I got you.
I heard they opened a new cafe too.
Yeah.
I'll have to check this out.
Yeah, the new cafe is pretty fire. The mozzarella sticks are superb.
Speaking of mozzarella, I'm just waiting to cover good mozzarella sticks. But that's segueing from what this panel's about.
Yeah, man. But other than that, it's so great to develop these little friendships and alliances. Because at the end of the day, it only benefits everyone. It benefits Brandon to be able to run his events. It benefits DK because now people come in and they're now just hearing about this, not new spot, but a spot that's been there for years. And now, Lantana, Lake Worth, the West Palm area has a huge. I'm sorry?
I'm Rex, not Brendan.
Rex Gaming. Shout out Rex Gaming. But yes, without Rex Gaming, the community wouldn't be as tight-knit as it would be. Let's be for real. They've been doing this shit since 2017, excuse my language. They've been doing this stuff since 2017. They've been getting everyone to come through, have fun, play games, make connections. And some of those connections are still very much connected to this very day. Some people have even gotten better at some of these games, whether it's Smash Brothers, Tekken, Street Fighter. I know there are some people in the Smash community who are complete and total novices at first, but because they went to Red Gaming consistently, guess what? Now they're out here with their own YouTube channels, and their own little things, and their own little clicks, and you got a little get together and just tell people you can't do this, you can't play these games. Yes, we can. It's Smash Brothers. It's for everybody. It's an E-rated game.
So are these hands.
For real. That's why I got the headband on.
See, I thought it was a Karate Kid thing.
Oh man. Anyway, what time do you guys have?
3:27.
3:27. All right. I don't think this was worth the hour, but I do appreciate you guys stopping in and saying what's up.
Here, you're worthy.
Hey man, listen. I can only drone on about the same thing for about another 30 minutes. I
What did you
think
say about accomplishments?
that is true. That is true. You got me. But anyway, let me let you guys go. I'm pretty sure my phone's dying as well.
Take your shirt off.
No, bro,
We have
no.
a 5-year-old in here.
What's your key advice to the YouTube beginner?
So
Key
my key
takeaway.
advice to any YouTube beginner is do not be afraid to put yourself out there. Do not be afraid to promote on Facebook. Do not be afraid to make business cards. Yes, Jim.
Literally dovetailing on that. Video editing for idiots, i.e. for older millennials. I understand the idea of a video edit, but my actual getting to practice it is like non-existent.
So
How would I be able to kind of really break into this and not be like, did I just break this thing?
I'm gonna be 1,000% honest with you, and I tell this to everyone who meets me for the first time, and they think I have all this fancy editing equipment and software. I literally use my phone, and there's a nice little app that I use for that. That I've been using for 5 years. Of course, I do want an upgrade and get DaVinci and all the other extra stuff. But as far as like,
What's the name of the app?
the app, it's literally just called Video Maker. If you have a Android device, it's an orange, what's it called, thumbnail. It's got a camera on it. It's such a great tool. At first, it's difficult, but once you start to know how to, lower the music, put in certain effects. I also have a third-party app as well called Superhero Effects for whenever I want to, make little fights happen in my YouTube channel. I just dropped Metahuman versus Ghostface on Halloween. It's a nice little 5-minute video of me fighting Ghostface from the Scream series. But let me not. Yes, Brandon.
How do you
Right,
identify clout clingers? Is there a way to use them to your benefit?
Well, there's definitely a way to use clout clingers to your benefit, but I personally try not to use them, if that makes sense. I try and start a friendship first, like, hey, how you doing? I'd like to talk to you, get to know you as a person before we start making these moves like this. Only because, some clout clingers, later, Jim.
Which one's pull me somewhere else?
That's cool.
How do you identify?
How do you identify them? There's simple ways to identify them. If they're promoting some knowledge that they profess to have, and then when you ask them more into detail about it, and they're just kind of stuttering and coming up with lies in the spot, that's a pretty good, way to find that. Versus if someone's, for me personally, if someone's asking me, what do you do? What do you use? I'm going to be outright truthful and be like, hey, I use this. I have this many followers. This is what I have been doing. This is how I have been doing it. And if they don't like it, I'm not going to press them any further, Versus them, they'll be like, oh, we need you. Do this and this, that, and the other. I'm like, whoa. If they're asking you all this immediate requests based on things that are not upon your knowledge, that simply means they did not take the time to listen to you or actually watch you work. So, if they're just coming at you outright and asking for help immediately, and you get no benefit out of it other than maybe a name at the end credits, but you know what? Even I'm grateful for little things like that because at least I'm being recognized in one way or another.
Could we get some sick kung fu moves that we can edit in a post for an awesome video intro or outro?
Of course. What? Chop the table.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm so glad you guys like that. Alrighty, boys. So, for my YouTube people out there, I hope you take this advice with a grain of salt, and I hope you pursue your own dreams and pursue everything that you ever wanted to do. I am going to wrap this portion of the video up and then move on to the documentary portion where I walk around and talk to people left and right. Do you guys have any last questions before I actually wrap this up? Now we're good? Okay. Thank you, everybody. I love you all so much. Thank you. What's up?
How do you sustain your identity opposed from your person online? The person you present to us in your identity, who you are.
Persona.
Your persona.
My persona. So, at the end of the day, Metahuman Macaluco is still it's still my name technically. It's just I've replaced the S with a C. So, if you go on Google and type in Metahuman Maca, it's gonna come out as Macaluso and not Macaluco, which gets kind of annoying because it's like, I know what Google's trying to do. They're trying to not get me to be known. But it's like, no, I can beat the algorithm. I can 100% beat this algorithm. Thank you guys.
So, right now we're about to have a Beyblade challenge. If Jeff beats Jason, then I'm gonna give him a gourd from, I'm flipping the camera so you can say the name.
Neil Gourd, aka Flight Gourd.
That's at Iwai right now, where you can buy one of these gourds. I'm gonna fill one up with liquor of Jeff's choice if he wins. If he loses, we're about to have a 21 plus panel. He cannot drink until tomorrow morning. So let's see.
Let's introduce our
All right.
base.
All right.
I'm playing with Dran Buster. I don't know its specs because it's a battle cradle, basically.
Okay.
I got Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
All right.
And I'm.
Oh wait, 1 second. He provided the gourds because I bought it from him, and he provided the liquor because he created it. Now let's go.
All right. How do we get a gourd? Buy one. You buy one.
Wait 1 second. I want to test the zoom in.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Ready?
You need to pay attention.
I'll tell you right after.
3, 2, 1. Yes! I got him! Yes! I got you with a burst of 2 points. All right, so Beyblade X is best of 5.
Okay.
A burst victory is worth 2 points.
Okay.
That is the first burst victory of the day.
Woo!
Jeff, I am up 2-0 on Jeff.
It's up to 5 points.
What do you mean? I got you the first time when we weren't filming, and it was a good one.
No, I mean, yes, you did, but does the first battle count that nobody else saw? Because it was kind of really awesome.
All right, I will allow it since the stakes are really high because him not being able to have Kevin's liquor is high stakes. So I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Official score is now I am 2, Jeff's 1.
Okay.
All right.
Dran Buster, don't let me down. 3, 2, 1.
No!
Oh! Yeah! 2-2, all tied up.
And the victory lap.
Yeah!
All right, 2-2, tied.
Yeah, I am proud of you, Jeff. Good job.
Yeah!
All right.
Well, you too can have fun if you come to the game room at
Anime Iwai.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, what the hell?
I'll allow a redo. I'll allow a redo.
Yeah, I guess.
I will use my boss lady powers and
No. If you want me to stop.
allow a redo.
Oh, where did Dran Buster go?
So you're saying that you went out of bounds?
That is one of the first Beyblade launchers.
All right, we're hitting at 3 minutes, guys. Last round.
Well, no.
What?
It's
first to 5?
First to 5.
Okay, first to 5. Go.
2-2 right now, right? We are 2-2 right now, yes.
Ready?
We'll go best of 3 for this. Don't click the launchers. It can break them eventually.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Jeff is not allowed to drink till tomorrow. Unless you want to do best of 5 for real.
Best of 5 for real.
Okay. Best of 5 is official base.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. Should we put it to a vote? What do you think? Should he have another chance?
Let him have a chance.
Okay. What do you think? Should he have another chance?
Yeah.
I actually hit it.
Oh, you did?
Bigger for him, it needs more for me.
Ah! What do you think?
This is the
No
Beyblade
chances
movie
for losing.
here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my power. I'm gonna allow it. Ready?
2, 1. Let it go. I mean, Jeff, you really messed up that launch.
Damn.
Okay, so now I have 4-2.
4-2, okay.
4-2.
And that means I win. You can't, it's best of 5, not first to 5.
I know. Wah, wah, wah.
Shiny cart beat Kirby.
I get everybody liquor.
Don't worry, Jeff. I'll let you have some of mine. You just can't have your own gourd.
Alright, y'all boys, it's your boy Metahuman Macaluco. We are back in action. It is day 2. A lot of craziness has happened the first night. Just overall parties and a little burlesque show. Stuff that I really can't show for the tubes, but I was able to get some people to film for me, which was pretty fire. But let me have you guys check out what's going on today and day 2 of the exhibitor hall. Excuse me, sorry. Hello. What's up, dude? What's up, brother? I'm gonna be this way. What you doing, Cynthia?
Hi. We're making crafts.
Nice, nice. Big bet.
Photos.
It's okay. So this man right here, Daniel, I've known this man since middle school. If you guys can give him a chance and check out his photography stuff and support him, that would be phenomenal. This man's known me since middle school. He's watched me grind it. I'm watching him grind.
Never stop, never stop.
The grind never stops, and neither does he. Get your Photoshop from him.
Thank you.
Every time Philip tells me he's gonna go to that. I'll be here then.
All right.
Lucas Versace.